Imagine being with a man who doesn't need validation, thrives in his own world, and respects your independence like no one else. At first, his calm and mysterious nature might seem unusual, maybe even frustrating. But after he's gone, everything changes. You start noticing how his quiet confidence, unwavering self-sufficiency, and refusal to follow the crowd were the very things that made him one of a kind. In a world full of noisy distractions and shallow connections, losing a Sigma male leaves a gap that's hard to fill. Let's dive into the 10 reasons why women often regret losing these rare, unforgettable men. Unmatched independence. Sigma males are known for their independence. Unlike the more traditional alpha or beta males, they thrive in solitude, choosing their path without the need for external validation. This independence often makes them incredibly intriguing and self-sufficient, qualities that women find rare and attractive. After a breakup, many women begin to miss this trait. They realize that a man who doesn't rely on others for his sense of self-worth or direction is incredibly hard to come by. A Sigma male's ability to thrive without needing constant attention or approval can create an atmosphere of mystery and strength. When he's gone, it's easy for her to realize that this level of autonomy was something that set him apart from the average man. His ability to move on with purpose, without showing bitterness or emotional dependence, makes his absence even more profound, and she begins to wish for that calm, centered energy once again. Deep emotional control. One thing that defines Sigma males is their emotional stability. They rarely lose their temper, and when faced with adversity, they remain calm and collected. This emotional self-control is something that many women come to appreciate, especially when they've experienced relationships with men who are more volatile. A Sigma male's ability to think rationally, even in stressful situations, gives a sense of security and peace. After parting ways, a woman might start to regret losing someone who could keep his emotions in check while still being deeply empathetic when needed. The quiet strength that comes from this emotional control often stands in stark contrast to the drama-filled relationships she may have with others in the future, making her realize just how rare and valuable it was to have a man who could balance logic with empathy in the most trying of circumstances. A quiet confidence. Sigma males don't feel the need to flaunt their accomplishments or abilities. Their confidence speaks through their actions, not their words. This silent assurance is often mistaken for aloofness or indifference, but in time, it becomes clear that it's a deep-rooted confidence that doesn't need validation from anyone. When a woman reflects on the relationship, she may realize that his unspoken confidence was a rare quality. He didn't need to show off or demand attention. Instead, his presence alone was enough to command respect. Once gone, it becomes clear that this understated confidence provided a sense of security and admiration that is not easy to find in other men. She may come to regret not recognizing the strength in his calm, composed demeanor until it was too late. Focused ambition. Sigma males are goal-oriented, not for the sake of impressing others, but because they have a strong internal drive. Their ambition is not tied to society's expectations or superficial desires for fame or recognition. Instead, they focus on personal growth and achieving goals that matter to them. Women may initially overlook this, as they might be used to men who are more outwardly boastful about their aspirations. However, after losing a Sigma male, a woman might begin to appreciate just how driven he was in a meaningful way. His focused ambition and clear vision of where he wanted to go in life can be something that, in hindsight, feels rare and admirable. She may start to regret not supporting or understanding the quiet fire that drove him, realizing too late that his ability to stick to his path was not a lack of enthusiasm but a deep, steady determination. Nonconformity. Sigma males don't conform to societal norms or trends. They live life on their terms and refuse to be boxed in by others' expectations. This makes them incredibly unique, as they don't follow the crowd and often stand out because of their unconventional choices. Initially, This nonconformity might seem confusing or even frustrating to women who are used to men fitting a more traditional mold. However, after the relationship ends, it can become clear that his refusal to conform was one of the things that made him most intriguing. A woman might start to miss his unpredictability, his unique perspective on life, and the way he questioned the status quo. She could find herself regretting that she didn't fully embrace his individuality, only realizing later that his authenticity was a refreshing break from the ordinary. A strong sense of boundaries. Sigma males are not pushovers. They know their value and maintain clear boundaries. This can be difficult for some women to accept, especially if they are used to men who are more willing to compromise on their self-worth to please others. A Sigma male's firm boundaries may come across as cold or distant at first, but after the relationship ends, a woman might come to appreciate how important those boundaries were. She could regret taking his self-respect for granted, realizing that his unwillingness to bend or be manipulated was a sign of his strength, not weakness. The integrity he maintained by staying true to himself, even when it wasn't convenient, becomes something she misses when dealing with other men who may lack that same inner resolve. Mystery and depth. One of the defining characteristics of a Sigma male is his enigmatic nature. He doesn't reveal everything about himself up front, choosing instead to share his thoughts and emotions selectively. This sense of mystery often keeps women intrigued, as they feel there's always something more to discover. Once he's no longer in her life, a woman might realize that this depth was something she took for granted. His layers of complexity made him interesting in a way that many others simply aren't. She might regret that she never fully uncovered the full extent of his inner world, feeling like she lost out on something profound and elusive. His mystery, once frustrating, becomes a quality she wishes she had appreciated more when he was still around. Self-sufficiency. Sigma males are incredibly self-reliant. They don't need constant attention or care from others to feel complete. This self-sufficiency can sometimes be misinterpreted as a lack of emotional connection, but in truth, it's one of their greatest strengths. After the relationship ends, a woman might regret not recognizing how rare it was to be with a man who didn't need her to validate his sense of worth. His ability to stand alone, emotionally and practically, makes him a rare find. Once he's gone, she may realize that his independence wasn't a sign of emotional distance, but rather a mark of his inner strength, and that having someone who didn't cling to her for support was actually a gift, not a drawback. Unshakable calmness. Sigma males tend to remain calm and composed even in the face of chaos. Their ability to stay grounded, no matter the situation, can be a stabilizing force in a relationship. This calmness often gets taken for granted, especially in the day-to-day challenges of life. After losing a Sigma male, a woman might start to miss that steady, reassuring presence. She may regret not valuing his ability to keep a level head in tough situations, realizing that his calm demeanor provided a sense of stability that is hard to replace. Dealing with more emotionally erratic partners might make her yearn for the peace that came with being around someone who didn't let external circumstances dictate his internal state. Respect for individuality. One of the most remarkable traits of a Sigma male is his respect for the individuality of others. He doesn't try to change his partner or impose his own views. He allows those around him the space to be themselves, without judgment or control. Women who've been in relationships with Sigma males often realize, after the fact, that this freedom was something precious. She might regret not fully appreciating how he respected her autonomy, never trying to mold her into someone she wasn't. His acceptance of her true self might only become clear in contrast to future relationships where she feels more constrained or judged. The freedom to be herself, something he granted effortlessly, becomes something she deeply misses once it's gone.